Hi guys, I'm back with a new updated sponsor list. Here you are. So thank you all for sponsoring. Want to thank every single one of you. What I promised is I've never done a pour with the PVA mix and Vallejofluid. So I thought I'd just do that today. And what I have here is a lot of colors that I would normally not use. Yes. It's the pressure of the viewers who say, choose some other colors. Well, this is other colors, and we're going to see how that's going to work. What I've done is the PVA mix, but the PVA mix that I did yesterday, that I wrote down in the video, I forgot the Flutrol. So it has to have a little bit of Floetrol, and I sort of forgot to add that. But the viewers that, watch a lot of my videos, they know that I always do the Floetrol. And I had an order today from someone from Denmark, and I saw that they ordered all the things I wrote down, but they didn't order the Floetrol, so I added a little Floetrol. Because I'm sure they would be very disappointed if they watch this video where I say put Floetrol in there and they don't have Floetrol. So, so that's what I did. Okay. What I have here is a very odd shaped canvas. It's long and it's a new size. I've never poured on this one before. I kind of like the size. It's small. It is 19 centimeters by 33, and I kind of like this size. I like the odd sizes, so we're gonna pour on this one. So I'll put this aside before I, get it all grubby. Yes, I have my other bathrobe on and a good blouse, which I really don't want any paint on. I just came from work, that's why. So I'm gonna put that up there. That's better. Okay. Now I'm gonna start off again with the, of course, with the white, a lot of it, because I just want a little bit of these colors, but I'd like a lot of white. As you can see, I'm pouring from up pretty high because I want them to do their thing. And the yellow, and then of course again a little bit of that color, a little bit of this one on that side, and I'm not sure it's going to be enough because it's almost 2 times 20 by 20, but we'll see. So I'm just going to pop it on, hold it in my hand like this, and then pop it on there. There we go. And I think I'll tilt the canvas just a little. There it comes. Ooh, it did mix a little, made a lot of mix. And as you can see, there are some cells popping already. But I would like a little bit of striped stuff in there. That would be cool. So I'm gonna pour what's left in the cup. But these are really nice cells. I like them. Ooh, cells are popping. Look at that. And I am going to torch the whole thing because I really want to see how they, when I tilt the canvas, how they're going to behave. So as you can see, all the yellow is popping up. That's kind of nice. And I'm going to really tilt it really slowly. Well, just over the edge a little, like that. Look at that. Beautiful cells. But I'm telling you, I do not like the, I don't like the colors. I just don't like it. But that doesn't matter. It's okay to do one that's a little different. So, oops, stop. Don't want to get those. Look at those cells. They're beautiful and big. So I'm going to let it come down. And there is a lot of paint on, but look at that. That is beautiful, isn't it? And I need my palette knife because I don't want to tilt it too much more. So I will make sure that it goes over there. Look at that. That is beautiful. Really, really big cells. And of course they did get bigger because I tilted the canvas when I was after the torching, and that's something that you have to keep in mind. If you want the bigger cells, you pour, and then when you think you're almost there, you know, that you don't have to tilt too much, that's when you torch it, and then you start tilting, and that will spread out these cells and make them bigger. But I think I'll do another one tomorrow with the same mix but with other colors, because I want to see how this behaves with my turquoisey, greeny sort of colors, because I do really miss them. Let's see now. I do want to torch one more time. I see a couple of air bubbles, so we want to get rid of those. Now, it's important to know that when you're pouring with the fluids, the important thing is that you understand that well, it flows a little faster than the tubes and the jars. The plus point is that you're ready like in no time, because you just put the PVA mix in with the Vallejo, you stir 4 or 5 times and it's already mixed. That's kind of cool. But also you have to be careful because it's more fluid. So that's something that you have to think about. Now I'm gonna, oops, I see a corner. Don't want to have a corner exposed. Let's see the rest of the, oh, I see a little bit of, I need a little bit of pink. Let's see if we got some pink. Here we have some pink. There was a little bit exposed, and we don't want to have that. So always make sure when you're this far, as far as I am, that you have all your corners covered and it's ready to put away. Now I'm going to put this away. Going to get a little one of my cloths to clean my hands, and I'm going to see if this stuff is also good for swiping on a piece of photo paper. So I'm going to put this one away. I need some paper first. That's it. Oops, or another little white point there. Okay, I'm going to put this one away. As you can see, I'm not totally in love with these colors, but it's sort of like spring, flowery colors. Okay, gotta grab it. Yep. Just clean off the hands just a little bit. Now, clean off the palette knife, and I want to see if this stuff is good for swiping. So I'm going to put some white and another color. Really clean off that palette knife and pull it over like that. Now this is bright colored. That's a lot of color. Wow, look at that explosion. Now this is really, this is not lacing, this is more like veins, because as you can see, it's very thin. It's like hairline cells, but that's kind of cool. So if you're going for this kind of effect, this is a really good mix. Now I'm going to do another color, put some white there, some purple on that side, some of this in the middle, and the light colored pinky color there. clean off the palette knife, and we're going to spread it up. Do it again, because I'd like a couple of different colors. Wow, look at that. Explosion of cells. But they will react differently than what you're used to if you're using this type of paint, because this is much the consistency is just a little thicker. As you can see, they're softer. The cells are much softer. When you have the thicker paint, the Winsor & Newton, you will see that those cells, you know, these are all next to each other, and it's just different. I can see it right here. But as you can see, it cells perfectly, so that's pretty cool. Now I do want to do something else. Let's see. I need 2 papers. And I'm going to pour it right in the middle. Just a tiny bit of purple. And the pink. That's about enough, because a lot of people are asking me to do, you know, press them on top of each other and then pull them apart. But personally, I'm not too fond of this type of squish. And now I'm going to really try to do it slowly so I get some different cells. Well, it is nice. I do like it, but let me get you in close. There you go. It is nice, but maybe, yeah, maybe for a pendant, maybe that, you know, centerpiece here. Whoops. Gotta get you back in focus. That centerpiece would be nice, so that'd be okay. But this one I'm gonna do differently. I'm gonna clean off my palette knife and spread it over like that. Now, the thing is, what you can do, and this is important, so don't turn it off yet. Yeah, this explodes. It's beautiful. See that? It's beautiful. That's a lot of cells. Now, the important part about this, I'm gonna write down again the mixture, the recipe with the Floetrol and everything. But this time, if you're gonna pour with the Vallejofluids or the golden fluids, anything that's fluid, you need to understand something before you start mixing. I'll write it down. Let's see. Ooh, a lot of mess here. Let's see if I can make a little bit of clean stuff here. Gotta clean this up anyway, so. Okay. Now, what the mixture is. I do 500 PVA, and we're talking milliliters. So if you are in a country that doesn't have milliliters, you'll have to use Google to, you know, calculate it. So 500 of PVA. Then I add 100 water. Yes, well, water. That's okay, because first you want to thin out that PVA glue because it's pretty thick. So 500 PVA, then 100 water, you mix it till it's smooth. Then you add 100 of polymer medium. Polymer medium, yes. Stir until it's nice and smooth. Then I add 100 milliliters of gloss medium. Stir until smooth. Then 100, and you could even go to 200 of pouring medium. So you can choose 100 to 200 pouring medium. It's not really important how much of this you put in. And you could even put the gloss medium, you could even hike that up to the same as the pouring medium. And then I put in 100 milliliters of Floetrol. Floetrol, that's it. So by doing this, because this is much cheaper than the liquids exporting medium, here you have 100 milliliters. That costs nothing because it's tap water. Then you have 100 polymer medium. That is not as expensive because 500 milliliters cost in my shop something around €8. Then we have the gloss medium, we have the pouring medium, and we have the Floetrol. If you mix this all together, you will see that you'll have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have a liter. So that's pretty cheap compared to a liter of the very expensive liquid exporting medium. And as you can see, it works, right? You can see right here, nothing's happening. The cells are intact. It works. As you can see here, still intact, and it will dry like this. I'm positive. Very confident it will. See that? It will stay like that. But here's the thing. If you're going to use this paint, the thicker paint, then you can add more water because this one needs more water to get you to the right consistency for pouring. Now, if you are sure that you're going to pour with Vallejo, then you need to leave it a little bit thicker than you would when using this. So that's why this is about the exact thickness that you need for pouring with Vallejo. Now, if you're going to pour with this, you can add another 100 to 200 milliliters water straight into the mix because this is much, much thicker. What you also can do, and this is just, you know, I'm thinking with you guys, you can make it exactly like this and use this paint, but then when you stir the paint in the medium, you'll see that it's still too thick and you can add water later until it has the right consistency. Doing the water in the mix right away just makes things, well, a little faster with mixing. But if you go from one to the other, so sometimes you pour with the fluid, sometimes you pour with this type, then I would suggest you leave it like this. So that's it. So right now, for me, this is the mix that I'm going to be using a lot of because I like how the cells explode. It's almost like the new Vallejo pouring medium that I've showed you a couple of times where those cells explode. And I really like the effect. Only this that I made, I'll show you. I made this yesterday, and as you can see, I'm not sure if you can see straight through the bottle, but this is just a little on the thin side because I made it for pouring with this. So it still works, as you can see, it still works, but if it was a little bit thicker, I'm sure you would be blown out of your seat. It would be awesome, even better than, because the cells would have just a little bit more consistency. And that's sometimes what happens when there's too much water in there. See, it is kind of coming off the stick in one continuous stream, but at the end it starts, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you see that drips at the end? That's not good because then your paint is almost too thin. So as you can see, it's streaming off there. Let me take another color. As you can see, it's streaming off there. There you go. But see, at the end it starts dripping. You don't want that. You don't want the drips. Because, well, if you do if you want something like this. But if you want them to, the cells to be just a little bit more, you know, compact and a little bit more, I'm not sure how to explain it, but, you know, you make it a little bit thicker. You add a little less water and it'll be just a little thicker and it will give you just a bit more definition in your cells. So that's very important. So I'll do just one more because I like to, but this time I'm going to put the white over the other color because the first two times I put the white first. And if you want the lacing, you got to be able to look a little bit through the top color. Look at that. It's a total explosion of cells. See that? I love it. I think it's beautiful. Can do a lot of things with it. It works, it explodes, it gives you cells. And what it does on paper, it absolutely does on canvas. So on the canvas, it will also, bam, explode. So that's the mix. This is the mix. Don't forget the Floetrol, because I forgot to add that in the previous video. Floetrol is very important. So that's the mix. Make it a little thicker if you're doing the fluids, and make it a little thinner if you're using the tube paint or the jar paint. It just depends on how thick the paint is. Now, like I told you, I was a Deco Art mailed me, and they asked me if I wanted to show the Deco Art paint on my channel, and I will be doing that as soon as I get the package with paints. And what I'm gonna do is also pour with this mix, because I love this mix. I love how it works. I love how it explodes. I think it's economical, you know, price-wise. So that's what we're gonna do. So thank you all for watching. Big mess. Gonna clean it up. I think I did good on my new shirt. Yeah, no paint in there. Makes me very happy. Okay, so I want to thank you all for watching, guys. You're all awesome. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, because I learned something new this morning. If I get 100,000 subscribers, you get a really cute little plaque from YouTube, and I'd love to have one of those. That would be really cool to have one of those plaques hanging on my studio wall. So if you haven't subscribed, please click on the button right down here in the corner somewhere. Let's see, down here, there it is. A little subscribe thing. Click on it, subscribe, and let's go for the plaque. So thanks all for watching. Love you all really to pieces. Liebe euch alle. Hou voor jullie allemaal. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.